want atmosphere? We have atmosphere at Dover Down Slots, where they are cranked up for the main event on Friday Night Fights, your boxing authority. 10 rounds, backyard brawl from the Philly guys, Mike Stewart and Chucky T. Chucky Tschorniawsky, he just leaned over and said to us, everybody thinks I'm going to be out in 3. You watch what I do. And if you're wondering who this packed house in Dover, Delaware is rooting for, just listen to the response for the local construction worker / prize fighter, Mike No Joke Stewart. Now let's take a closer look at our main event. Mike No Joke Stewart is right where he wants to be, on his home turf and under his terms. Now 31-1-2, Stewart says he has no excuse to lose, and, quote, my toughest opponent is myself. Well, that wasn't the case in February of 2002. That's when Stewart tried to aggressively press forward against Doran Spivey. But the speedy veteran turned the tables on No Joke, handing him his first loss. Stewart got back to business the next 2 times out and came up with confidence-boosting wins. A third-round KO of Brad Jensen put Mike back on track. He then returned here to Dover Downs for what was supposed to be an easy night of work against Mike Davis. No Joke floored Davis in the 3rd. However, a cut over Stewart's left eye caused major concerns. With his vision blurred, Mike Davis took advantage. No Joke had to hold on for a hard-earned unanimous decision win. Now it doesn't get any easier, as Philly's little tough guy Chucky T is looking to keep his momentum going. Tschorniawsky now 22-5-1, ready to show off that very busy pace and iron will attitude. His turnaround in the last 2 years has been rewarded. 3 straight losses included a 10-round decision against Paul Spadafora. But a win over former title contender Ivan Robinson in this effort against Scott DePomp, that has jump-started his career. January 31st, a night to remember. Knocked down in the 2nd, jumped on him, and 2 wins in a row against name opponents had Chucky T moving forward. Now the question is, can he overcome another Philly enforcer?
Stewart don't box too well, I don't think. I think they game plans to come right at me. Because they're going to think I'm not in shape, probably. I'm not sure, but I can't speak for the man. You know what I mean? In my style, I don't box. But I fight a smart fight, though. I can adapt.
I know that I'm in top shape. I know I'm coming to throw a ton of punches. I'm coming to get the crowd excited. I'm coming to get the people on TV excited. What Chucky T has, I don't know. I mean, I can't expect nothing but the best from him, so... And what's the best, I couldn't tell you. I guess Scott DePomp was his best, so we'll see what happens.
He doesn't have to worry about getting the crowd excited. Charles Chucky T. Tschorniawsky, he's seen plenty of fight game at only 26 years old. He's 22-5-1, keeps busy and in shape, throwing 180-pound bags of cocoa beans as a longshoreman in Philly. For No Joke Mike Stewart, it is time to make something happen in now his 5-year career. Stewart guaranteed a win when he talked to us yesterday, and not just a W, but a real show for both his hometown fans here and any doubters watching across the country. As for Teddy's tips, Teddy, what do you got for us?
Well, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to have do's and don'ts. First, the do's for Chucky T. Throwing that looping right hand, that's your favorite punch. Make sure you throw it at the right time over the jab of Stewart. And working both hands inside. You're a walk-in guy, you're a guy that likes to get down and dirty, you're a blue-collar guy, you better move those hands inside, and you better look for uppercuts on the inside. Now the don'ts for Stewart. If the looping right hand is a do for Chucky T, you better not hang your jab out there, because if you do, that looping right hand will do some damage. And if the do for Chucky T is to use both hands inside, well then, Stewart, you better not lean forward inside, because if you do, you get hit with an uppercut. Now for Stewart, let's look at some do's. We can't have all don'ts here. One do is mix it up. You showed in your last fight, as far as I'm concerned, you're not just a walking guy. You can box a little bit. Jab, keep distance a little bit, counterpunch. Don't just walk in. And if you're keeping distance right, another do for you is at the end of the distance, the end of your jab, throw that straight right hand. Maybe you'll find Chucky out there. Now do's, is one thing, but don't for Chucky. Chucky, don't just walk in, because if Stewart is doing his thing of mixing it up and boxing and counterpunching and you just walk in, you're going to get outboxed. And another don't for you, Chucky. Don't lay outside, because if you lay outside and Stewart is using that jab and keeping distance, he's going to hit you with an extended right hand at the end of his jab.
There it is. Scheduled for 12 rounds. Blair Tomage, the third man inside the ropes. USBA 140-pound title on the line between Mike Stewart and Chucky T. The ring experience. Both guys pretty even, 170 rounds for Stewart. There's more of the boxing skills. They both average fights of 5 rounds. This scheduled for 12. And the fans here in Dover, Delaware, they cannot get enough of Mike Stewart. This show sold out well in advance here at Dover Down Slots. Teddy, quite an advantage for Nojic.
Not really. I haven't seen any of those fans get in the ring.
No, they don't fight.
If they start getting in there, let me know.
They don't fight, but he's got a lot of pride on the line.
So does Chucky T. They're both fighters. And they're both the same kind of fighters. That's why we're watching, and that's why I'm anticipating an interesting fight here. You don't have to look for either guys, Joe. They both come to fight. And they're not taking too long to introduce each other.
No, that is what is expected here tonight between these two, who strangely enough, Teddy, as of 4 weeks ago, were working out in the same gym in Philly up until 4 weeks ago, and Chucky T was talking to Mike Stewart about his upcoming fight, which are on the way. And here he is fighting against him 4 weeks later.
You know, we talk about what you have to do. We did the tips.
There's a right hand from Stewart.
Yeah, that started with a left hook to the body. That's the forte of Stewart. Neither one are big punches. But if Stewart's going to do damage, it's going to be with the left hook, probably to the body. You don't have to be a big puncher to hurt a guy to the body. Just catch him in the right place. We talked about the do's here, but here's one of the don'ts. We know both guys are going to be in there looking to catch the other guy the old blue-collar way. They're just bringing it on, doing it the old-fashioned way. Coming forward, chucking leather. But I believe that what's very important in this fight is not just that they're chucking leather in what they do, but it's what they don't do. When one doesn't want to work, get out of range. That is the key to me. Whoever can keep the other guy from doing something when he's not doing something, he's going to have an edge. Right there, you saw Chucky kept Stewart from doing something. He stepped out of range. When they're both doing it, you're going to watch. You're just going to make sure our great punch guys are really pushing their fingers, because it's going to be punch taps. Who's scoring more? Who's scoring cleaner? But watch when one guy doesn't want to work. Does he allow the other guy to capture the pace, capture the rhythm, or does he make sure he gets out of range and takes that away from the other guy? We know both guys bring it. I think whoever can box just a little bit better, just a little bit more. Maybe use that jab, change range like Chucky T did a moment ago. Whoever can do that will separate themselves a little bit in this fight.
There's a counter left hand from No Joke Stewart, and this crowd gets behind anything that makes contact.
I'll tell you one place the crowd really might help him. You alluded to it earlier, Joe. We'll see if that happens on the scorecards.
What a great first round between this backyard brawlers of T and Stewart. ESPN2 Friday Night Fights, brought to you by Just for Men. More than just hair color, it's a rejuvenator. Ends gray in 5 minutes, looks natural. Well, just outside the Grand Ballroom here at Dover Downs, you can watch the Trotters, or you could come inside where this is no joke. The Mike Stewart fans are out in force to see their main man in 12 rounds of action for the USBA Junior Welterweight title against Chucky T from right up the road in Philly. Both guys train in Philly. Mike Stewart, a construction worker here in Dover, Delaware, and drives a good hour into Philadelphia every single day to train for 2.5 hours and make the drive back. Second round of action between these brawlers. In round number 1, 77-71 edge and thrown for Chucky T. Stewart did land 20 and came across with 2 solid right hands, Teddy.
Got a little effect with those right hands. Got the attention of Chucky T.
There's another left hand that makes contact, but Chucky T still willing to bring him in action into the ropes and press forward.
Whatever damage is going to be done by Stewart, it's probably going to come from that left hook. You can see Stewart's mind is not just to walk in. His mind is to mix it up a little bit like I touched on earlier, Joe, to see if he can mix it up. Fight inside, he's going to have to do that, but try to box a little bit in spots.
He has scored early with that left hand here in round number 2. Chucky T, though, Teddy, is very game. He looked great against Scott DePomp last time.
He's got a guy in front of him now with Stewart that has a better chin. DePomp, very game. Probably a better boxer in some ways than Stewart, but Stewart has the chin to have staying power.
There's a right hand by No Joke. Connects against. Back with the left.
Those punches shook the legs a little bit of Chucky T. One of the intangibles to look for, of course, is cuts. Stewart has been cut in his last 3 fights, all of them above the left eye.
Yeah, that left eye has given him problems, especially in that last fight against Mike Davis. There were issues with his vision throughout the closing round. Scores with another right hand and follows it up with a left.
We talked about the right hands in the tips. And he can get full extension on that right hand. And cooperation from Chucky T by standing at the end of him. Stewart has shown he can be effective. Stewart has been able to shake up Chucky T a little bit. So far. He's the bigger man, Joe. Turned pro junior welterweight, 142 pounds, and fought there his entire career. Been 141 pounds or more, 28 times. Chucky T turned pro with lightweight, fought there his entire career until his last 2 fights. Only his last 2 fights did he move up to junior welterweight. Stronger guy is Stewart.
And great action to close out this second round between No Joke and Chucky T.
Bottom right hand corner, the right has been carrying the night for Stewart, and that's why he gets Chucky T at the end of his punches, gets full extension on that right hand.
And he comes with a right hand to start this third round again, Teddy. Mike No Joke Stewart in front of his home crowd. He was disappointed with his last effort at Dover Downs. There's nothing disappointing through the first 7 minutes of this fight tonight against Chucky T.
Well, we knew that both guys were walking guys. Both guys were with fighters mentality, tough guys. You knew it was going to be a good fight. You don't have to look for the guys. But what people forgot is Chucky T throughout his career for 6 years fought at lightweight. 6 years he fought at lightweight. Only in his last 2 fights did he move up to junior welterweight. The stronger man that maybe nobody really thought about and starting to show itself early on is Stewart. He's a natural junior welterweight. Look at that left hook to the body. That really hurt Chucky T.
Chucky T is crouched after that left hook, and there were a couple right hands that came in too. And now Chucky T is willing to fight his way off the ropes if he can.
Stewart may have lost a moment there. Not that he won't get another one, but he had Chucky T hurt and frozen for a moment with that left hook to the body. But guess what didn't happen after that? No more body punches.
Didn't chop him down when he had the chance. The power connects through 2 rounds. Stewart had thrown 100 and landed 48. Seems like he's thrown that many in the first minute and a half of this third round. There's a big right hand again, sending Chucky T back.
The right hand has been a mainstay, as we talked about in the tips, so far for Stewart. And it's not just because he's chucking it. He's chucking it at the right time. When he gets distance, and he's the bigger, taller man, and Chucky T stays at the end of his jab, like he's trying to do right there. Look at Stewart. He's trying to get there. He just missed, but he followed up with the left hook. And that's why you follow a right hand with a left hook. The right hand misses, the left hook may not. You can see Stewart wants to get extension with that jab, get distance, get Chucky T to stay at the end of that jab, and then the right hand has been crashing home.
Folks, if you ever want the definition of chin, you can spell it with a T. Chucky T. This has been an impressive third round of just staying on his feet.
not only chin, but heart. Because I don't believe Stewart is a real big puncher, but they've been real clean punches landing there by Stewart. And the heart of Chucky T has kept him in this fight.
Chucky T turns the tables here in the closing 15 seconds of this third round, and Stewart comes back with a right.
Here's the action that carried that round for Stewart. First, it's going to be a right hand right at the end of his jab, and then look at that left hook, a debilitating left hook to the body that froze Chucky T. But he had to sense the instinct to keep bending, move his head a little bit. And Stewart never went to the body again.
Round number 4 between Chucky T and Mike "No Joke" Stewart. Mike Stewart, in his traditional white and orange, he moved to Philadelphia from Tennessee when he was 13 years old, and he still wears the colors of the Vols. You can see the power punches in round number 3, and you know why there's so much excitement. And here they go again, wasting no time as Stewart presses the action into the corner.
Nobody needs me to tell him. But the big difference so far has been the strength, as we mentioned earlier, of Stewart, and the fact that Stewart can get full distance, full extension on the shorter Chucky T. In other words, flow cooperation from Chucky T. He can keep him at the end of his punches and then extend a nice straight right hand. And Chucky T has been there to eat the right hand. Now, I think that maybe Stewart can get a stoppage here if he adds something to that right hand, a left hook. That's the only thing that's been missing so far in the plan of Stewart. He's been landing the right hand constantly, round after round after round. But what he hasn't done is put the left hook behind him.
Funny that you say that, because it's played out exactly like your do's and don'ts have said. You said, hey, I love the straight right of Mike Stewart, but you got to mix it up. You got to use both hands. The right hand's been there. Let's see if he can add to it. Halfway through round number 4. It was a big left hook to the body in that third round that had Chucky T in trouble on the ropes, but he was able to weather the storm and come back. Early on here in round 4, a couple more straight rights by No Joke.
No left hook behind the right hand.
Now Chucky T trying to make a target out of Mike Stewart.
Chucky T is going to have to learn pretty soon, because his face is swelling up very badly from the accumulation of punches. He's getting broken down, worn down a little bit. He has to learn pretty soon he can't win on the outside. If he's staying right there in limbo, no man's zone, Chucky T, like that,
there it is
he's
again,
going to keep eating that right hand. He has to do one of 2 things. Get inside, close the gap. Take that right hand away from Stewart, or get all the way out where he's out of range, but not where he is. He is standing right in limbo. Chucky T has been standing at the firing line, right at the end of the punches of Stewart. Right there again, there's Chucky T right at the end of the punches, and that right hand just missed. Chucky T must work his way in. There he is again. He has to get in, Joe, or he's got to get all the way out.
The big right hands come in for Stewart.
Well, if you didn't believe that Chucky T was standing at the end of the punches, here's the picture to prove it. Standing right at the end of the jab of Stewart, and behind that jab has been the right hand.
Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you for an action-packed main event on Friday Night Fights here in Dover Downs, Delaware, between Chucky T and Mike Stewart. The backyard brawl of these 2 Philly-trained fighters. The punches through round number 4, 107 to 69 land edge for Mike Stewart, and he's connecting on 43% of his power shots, landing 91 of 186.
And even though both of these guys' MOs have been walk-in guys, we mentioned at the top that one guy, we felt it might be Stewart, might decide to box a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that Stewart's doing an imitation of Roy Jones. He doesn't have that kind of ability. But for him, he has come in here with a plan and a decision to box a little bit. and it has been a big difference. He's taken advantage of his size, his reach. He's kept Chucky T at the end of his punches. He's stepped out every once in a while like that and not allowed Chucky T. When he didn't want to work, he hasn't allowed Chucky T to work. He's stepped out of range. Kept Chucky from getting a rhythm going. Stewart is boxing. Might actually doing it like Ali or Pernell Whitaker. But he's using his head tonight and doing more than just walking in.
Well, he told me yesterday, Teddy, that he had his best training in the past 6 months. He was able to spar, which he wasn't comfortable doing prior to the Mike Davis and Brad Jensen fight because of the cut over the left eye that you have referred to earlier. So far, it hasn't been an issue with Mike Stewart. He thinks it healed up nicely.
He got 5.5 months of rest since that fight, and that was very important for the cuts to heal, Joe. It's probably the first time in the last 3 fights that those cuts really had the appropriate amount of time to properly heal. And as you pointed out, probably the first time in 3 fights that he's probably had the proper amount of sparring, where the cut was healed enough where he could get sparring. In the past, he couldn't get too much boxing in the gym because of the cut. And again, the right hand, nothing new, nothing fancy. The end of the jab. There's Chucky T, and he's going to get stopped here.
I don't like the way Chucky T looks right now, Teddy. 30 seconds to go here in round number 5, and he has eaten a lot of those straight rights.
If Stewart keeps going to that body, he's got a chance to get rid of Chucky T here.
Well, Blair Talmadge should take a look at the face of Chucky T and gauge the situation here. 15 seconds to go in this 5th round. Chucky T is the type of guy that's always going to press forward and always be game. And he was in trouble there on the ropes. In the books, Chucky T not in good shape.
Mouthpiece. All right, buddy? Yeah, he's okay.
This is Melissa.
You gotta move the head. You gotta move your head, and you need these 6 rounds. You need 6 rounds. Put down 6 rounds. You understand? Look, this round here, get yourself together, okay? Move your head, keep your hands up like you work on your head.
Stan Melichevsky working on Chucky T. As for Mike Stewart's corner.
Let's close out the show, man. All right? Stay seated, Mike. Come on.
Little dab of Vaseline on that left eye, which is not opened up tonight, thankfully for Mike Stewart. The left eye is the concern. It's been the right hand that's the concern for Chucky T. Time after time through these 5 rounds, it's been coming in and scoring from Mike Stewart.
There's only 2 things I would like to see in this fight right now. I would like to see Chucky T not get hit with right hands anymore. And there's that left hook to the body that's paralyzing him. And I would like to see Mike Stewart come back with the left hook after he lands the right hand.
6th round here, and Mike Stewart did come in with the left hand, but those rights have been doing the damage. This may be a very long 2 minutes and 30 seconds for Chucky T.
And again, it's very tough for Chucky T to do his thing. He's a walking guy, but there's 2 things going on here that's not allowing him to be effective. One is the other guy who's supposed to be a walking guy is taking advantage of Chucky T being one-dimensional. Stewart decided tonight to show up and show another dimension. He can mix it up a little bit. Change distance box. It's giving him an edge instead of being a walk-in. And one other advantage. Stewart's the bigger guy. So even if Chucky's going to walk in and pound away, like, which is his thing, which is his identity, to get in there and just make a brawl, he's doing it with a bigger, stronger guy. Stewart is a full junior welterweight. Chucky T, as I said, most of his career has been a lightweight. Most body punches are hurting that lightweight body.
Yeah, he had trouble making 135. He says he feels more comfortable at 140, but I'm not sure he feels more comfortable taking the shots at 140. And you can see the face now of Chucky T. A lot of swelling under the eyes. The nose has been bleeding for about 4 rounds now. He's damaged goods here halfway through this fight.
He's showing a lot of heart, Chucky T, but it's the kind of fight, and he's the kind of fighter that it's starting to get to that territory where the corner has to start thinking about what they're going to do. You already know what the fighter's going to do. He's going to act like a fighter. He's going to keep fighting back. He's going to keep trying. But it's just getting to that point pretty soon. Chucky T's not really a big puncher, and Stewart has a pretty good chin. It's getting to that point where how much is enough with a corner. So these are the kind of fights where you really, a fighter like Chucky needs a corner. There's some guys out there that don't really obey the definition of a fighter, of that kind of temperament. If things get tough, they're going to manage themselves out of the fight. Chucky T's the kind of guy that has to have a guy look out for, because he's not going to do it himself.
Well, Chucky T is the very essence of a Philly fighter. And Chucky T is Philly through and through. Teddy, when Mike Stewart comes in shape and well-trained and got all his sparring in, he's not a bad-looking, mid-level 140-pounder. Scheduled for 12 between Mike Stewart and Chucky T. 6 are in the bag as the corner of Chucky T continues to work. Stan Melevchevsky is his cut man.
Get another one. You got two of them to move around. Okay, move around. Get yourself together.
Well, here we see some of the action from the last round. That body punch underneath the elbow. It finds the opening. That little left hook to the body. And again, back to the body with that left hook. That one didn't score as clean. Stewart knows when he's got a man on the ropes, keep going to that body, especially when that man's been a lightweight through most of his career. Punish that body. And here's Stewart getting some distance, getting a little range. And so far, when he's had distance and range, he's been able to connect with the right hand.
Yeah, he's connected plenty in the last 2 rounds. Stewart has outlanded Chucky T 47-15. 7th round on Friday Night Fights. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. So glad you can be with us for this main event, the Backyard Brawl. 2 Philly-trained fighters, Chucky T and Mike Stewart, here on Stewart's home turf at Dover Downs. Chucky T is not responding against the ropes here, Teddy.
Now, we've seen this all night, but never this early in the round. This is the best shot for Stewart to stop Chucky T right here.
Blair Talmadge is taking a look.
Now, one thing Stewart should start looking for a little bit on the inside. He's thrown that left hook to the body real well. On the outside, he's landed that right hand at the end of his jab. On the inside, Chucky T's leaning forward a little bit, Joe, to get away from those shots. The uppercut should start to come to the mind, and maybe the mind of the corner of Stewart on the inside. Then maybe he can take it to the next point and actually get rid of Chucky T on the inside. He's taken to the brink, right to the edge, but never able to push Chucky T to the other side yet. Maybe when Stewart gets inside again, and he'll get that moment again, that opportunity again, he should look to not smother himself, keep a little bit of distance, and when Chucky T, right here, it's gonna come up now, when Chucky T leans, look, see when he's leaning forward?
Yep.
This is where Stewart needs, there's the uppercut. That's where he needs to step back just a little bit, Joe. Not be over anxious, not smother himself. This is where, see, now Stewart's not punching. He's allowing Chucky T to survive because Stewart is smothering himself, getting a little too close.
But, Teddy, the concern on the other side is that when he gets up against the ropes, Chucky T isn't throwing much either. And if you're Blair Talmadge, maybe you got to think about something here.
So this is where, right now, and the referee is thinking about something.
That's it.
And he heard you.
The home crowd loves it.
Good job by the referee.
Blair Talmadge calls a stop to this fight in the 7th round.
Good job. We didn't see 1 round of punishment. We saw 7 rounds of extreme punishment.
159 of the 7th round. A devastating display, consistent all night long from Mike Stewart. The big right hand came in, and in the middle rounds, he was able to follow it up with some lefts and body shots against the ropes. 25-3 connect advantage in that 7th round.
Stewart, to his credit, came very prepared. He knew he had a walk-in guy. He said, you know what, I'll separate myself. Instead of having 2 walk-in guys, if I box just a little bit